Enthusiasm can be a crucial factor in elections and consequently referendums. If neither side has it, as was obvious in the last federal election, it doesn't really matter. But if only one side has this, they have a signal advantage, subject, of course, to there not being a great amount of fraud. This was obvious in the 1999 referendum. ACM had neither money, and we didn't have the support of the political parties, and we didn't have the support of the media. But we had one ingredient, and that was enthusiasm. And we'd seen that in 1996 when the Carr government expelled the governor from Government House. We called a demonstration in Macquarie Street. It was worked on by ringing up appropriate organisations. And we ended up with an extraordinary crowd in Macquarie Street. As far as you could see, 20,000 people. It was one of the biggest demonstrations ever in Macquarie Street, certainly the biggest of those which weren't associated with union demands about increases in pay and conditions and so on. And it was certainly one of the most peaceful, and it was very effective. Bob Carr was very embarrassed by that. He was away. He left Australia at the time of the meeting to go to a foreign country. And Paul Keating said that the reaction in New South Wales to expelling the governor from Government House lost him the federal election. In any event, one of the issues in the referendum itself was the absence of enthusiasm for the Republican cause. Certainly, plenty of people voted that way. As Malcolm Turnbull admitted in his diary, which he published after the referendum, we're not going to win, nobody is interested. Well, when I saw that and I was asked to do a review of his book, I did make the comment, well, Malcolm, if you realised 6 months before the referendum that nobody was interested and you were going to lose, why didn't you call it off and save everybody the money and the time which we were involved in? During the campaign, we got together by rearranging our affairs over the country. We got together and ended up with over 55,000 foot soldiers, people willing to work for the cause, particularly, as is so important in Australia, being present at the polls at the time of the vote. The problem is that that situation will probably have to be repeated again if ever there is a referendum. There's no doubt that we will be in the same position as we were in 1999. Most of the politicians will be opposed. Of the balance, only a few will stick their heads over the parapet. All of the mainstream media will be opposed to us, and the Republican movement will have the establishment behind it, and they will have vast amounts of money. That will be the situation. The worst thing for us in 1999 was the mainstream media. The problem was they do have an influence. The media has changed significantly since then. We now have the social media, and that will be more split, we hope, than in 1999. One of the problems that we will have in any referendum is the same problem that they've experienced in the United States election. And that is not only misinformation, that is the suppression of information. And that will be a serious problem for us in the coming election. But what we are sure to have is enthusiasm, and the polling which has been taken over the years indicates that there's still strong support, not only for the constitutional monarchy, but for the retention of the existing constitution. And perhaps most importantly, the strongest thing is that people feel that anybody wanting to change the constitution has to put a strong case demonstrating that the change they propose will significantly improve the governance of Australia.